told myself when I decided to start this vlog that I was going to make every effort to be transparent with you guys, to be open and honest, to share with you something that's meaningful, things that really go on in my life and my business and my ministry, not hype just for the sake of recording videos and populating a YouTube channel. That's worthless. Sometimes the things I'm going to talk about are fun and funny. Sometimes the things I talk about might be a little bit controversial. Perhaps last night, and what I'm going to share with you guys is one of those experiences. When I was trying to decide if I was going to record this video or not, I settled on if this were to become a rant, I wouldn't post it. So by the nature of you seeing this, it's not a rant. Essentially, I just want to share some experiences with you, again, in full transparency, so you know what goes on in my life, so that you understand the things that I do and the things that I experience, and maybe there's something that we can all learn from it together. Essentially, last night, Russell and I went to House of Blues in Orlando to see a concert, and went to see a band that I absolutely love. It's Chevelle, just so you know who it is. I love their music. They're very talented guys. They put on a great show. The musicianship was awesome. So being a musician myself, I've shared that with you guys before, I appreciate live music. I appreciate live production and what it takes to actually pull that off with excellence. And listen, these guys delivered. I was not disappointed in that whatsoever. However, while I love House of Blues, that venue is probably one of the best venues I've ever been to see a live show. The acoustics are great. The setup of the room is great. It's a great place to see a show. But while it wasn't the music, it was the atmosphere that really set me off. So let me explain. I've been a Christian for a long time. Matter of fact, I made a decision to follow Jesus in the summer of 1989, and my life has been a roller coaster of ups and downs. I've followed well. I've strayed way off the path. However, one of the things I haven't done in my entire life, one, I've never smoked a cigarette, and two, I've definitely never smoked pot. Now, as we continue to move along in the history of the United States, and actually I guess maybe it's just global culture, where the use of marijuana and smoking weed just becomes more common as more states, even here in the state of Florida, they've passed legislation now. The people voted and decided that the use of medical marijuana was going to be legal. So now they're going to set up the dispensaries here, just like they have in Colorado and other places. Now, this isn't to spawn some kind of debate as to whether the use of medical marijuana is merited, whether it's terrible. I personally have a huge aversion to it. The reason for that, for me, is just personal history. Not in my own personal use, but in seeing it destroy the lives of people that I love. Now, you can take that with a grain of salt. You can turn that into whatever you want it to be. You could turn this off. The beautiful thing about YouTube and about any kind of social media or media for that matter, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. So maybe you don't like what I'm going to have to say, but if that's the case, you can click the stop button and you can move on, and maybe you can go find something that better suits your desires. Again, I'm not here to debate whether the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes is right or wrong. However, I will say that in a public environment where people are gathered together to enjoy something collectively, when you've got a bunch of people smoking weed around you, and that's not something that you do, man, that sucks bad. And it wasn't just me. I'm looking around the room when you get this huge cloud that comes over you, and you're holding your breath, it feels like I held my breath for half of an hour. You know, half of the time these guys played, because all these people are firing up all around you. It sucks so bad. Matter of fact, there was a guy just greater than arm's length away from me with his little pipe, and he's just smoking up the whole time, man. Now, granted, this is a non-smoking venue. On top of that, you got people hitting their vapes and everything. It was just, I don't know, it was terrible. While I love the music, and I love the authenticity of a band like that, I don't think I can subject myself to that kind of environment anymore. I love the experience of the music. I believe that music isn't something that you listen to. Music is something that you experience. The volume and the feeling of it. And perhaps some of us that are musicians, maybe it affects us in greater ways than others. And it's just like worship at church. Worship is where I exist. I love it, man. It's like my pipe to God. It's like my pipe to the throne room of heaven. It's where I really connect with God. I can just get lost in it. And whether that's Christian music or secular music, maybe secular is a word that you're not familiar with, but essentially, it's just like, if it's not Christian, it's secular. That's an easy way to look at it. I don't necessarily have a problem with going to a secular show, like going to see a band like Chevelle, but I do have a serious problem with subjecting myself to specific environments. And so because of that, it's very likely that I told Russell, I said, this is very likely the last show that I'll go to like this, because I can't put myself in that environment. Matter of fact, I wish I would have taken this with me. I know it's ridiculous, right? I would have enjoyed the show and the experience so much more had I worn this at that show, because then I wouldn't have been worried about all the crap that I was breathing in. Like, my throat is still burning this morning, and I didn't even smoke. Matter of fact, I spent quite a bit of time with my shirt up over my nose like this, just trying to prevent breathing that crap in. I don't know where you fall out in all of this. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't want to be insensitive to people who need that kind of stuff medicinally. I don't know. Maybe that's how you don't say it. I don't know. But if you need that to survive, maybe you've got some kind of disease or something. If you need that to get by, perhaps you shouldn't be going into a public venue like that and doing that around everybody else. I mean, there were little kids at this show. And so these kids are even subjected to that. It's pretty bad. So one of the things I'm going to do with this vlog is I'm going to introduce you to other bands, maybe to other venues where stuff like that wouldn't happen. Since I love music, I want to introduce you to great music. Matter of fact, just recently we produced 2 different graphics. This is As We Ascend's graphic. They're a brand new band out of Nashville. Actually, a couple of the guys from the band We As Human came together and formed this band after We As Human had to break up for several reasons. But these guys are awesome. They bring it hard. You know what? They may even play in places where you would be exposed to the kinds of things that I was exposed to last night. And there's a place for that. I want those guys to be able to go into that scene. Whether it's Ozfest or Warped Tour or who knows, whatever, right? I'm sure all that crap goes on at all those places too. I just don't think that I personally can go and be a part of that anymore. Here's another one we just released too. Another band out of Jacksonville. This is three ladies, three sisters, matter of fact, and they're all fairly young. The drummer, I think, is like 13 years old at this point. So GFM, or Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh, are three ladies that just, they bring it so hard. They're excellent musicians. Yeah, they play at a skill level 3 times their age. It's impressive. That's another band I want you to meet. So we'll get with those guys eventually, and I'll expose you to them. You know, I know that Jesus went to places that weren't popular places to the religious crowd. I know that Jesus hung out with people that the religious crowd would have shunned. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that's shunning someone who's going and doing those kinds of things, because I believe that this world was created for us. God created it, and then He put us in it. So I want to enjoy the things that are out there. There's certain things that we probably should best avoid. But for the most part, I just want to enjoy the things that we have that's awesome. Good music is a part of that. But I can't subject myself to that kind of environment any longer. And I'll still hang out with people who go to those places. I'll still hang out with people who do those kinds of things. It's not my place to bestow judgment on these people. I have my own personal convictions, and I believe it's up to the Lord and actually the Holy Spirit to bring about conviction to people who are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So, Russell, maybe I owe you an apology, man. You went along with me. It wasn't necessarily your band, but I appreciate you being there with me and just doing it with me. Hopefully you didn't have a bad night, but I really appreciated you being there. To all of our family and our friends that look to us for wisdom and for encouragement, I want you to be encouraged to enjoy life. Enjoy the things that God created, but be wise about where you choose to do that. Let the Holy Spirit be your guide. Let the Holy Spirit show you what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. Perhaps me being there last night wasn't appropriate. I don't know. I got to pray through that. And I believe that God will show me what's right. I mean, I didn't go there to evangelize. I didn't go there to win converts. When the music's so loud, it's not like you could have conversations with people and try to share Jesus with somebody in a crowd like that. Maybe you get the opportunity in line or wherever. I don't know. The reality is, I just wanted to share this experience with you. You know, I had fun with the music. I enjoyed the music, but I hated the environment. So be careful where you allow yourself to go. Be careful where you allow your feet to take you. This past weekend, when I took the street team down to Fort Lauderdale, we were talking about the book of Ephesians. You know, the book of Ephesians talks about putting on the full armor of God. And Tim made a great point in our discussion. He said, you know, that's the full armor, not just the pieces that you want to pick and choose, right? Like the helmet of salvation, you know, but you got to put it all on to protect yourself. It says specifically to protect yourself. So let me encourage you guys today to put on the full armor of God. If you're not sure what that means, read the book of Ephesians. It's a short read, but man, it's chock full of great information. Great information that'll help you live your life, do the right things in your marriage. Today is actually my 26th wedding anniversary. Sweetheart, I love you. Thank you for choosing to partner with me for the last 26 years. I appreciate it, and I love you so much. Thank you for being a part of my life. But the book of Ephesians will teach you how to treat your wife and how to treat your husband. It'll tell you how to protect yourself. It'll also give you great information about who you are in the church and the way to live your life. So, thank you for taking a few minutes to join me today. I hope that something I said will speak to you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you want to talk about something, leave me a message, shoot us a message, get in touch with our team members. Those guys love to connect with you. Join our street team so you can get involved in our daily chat and banter that goes on. We have a lot of fun there. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day.